again. That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker for our 1 o'clock session. Bonnie Golden is the owner of Yoga with Bonnie and is a certified pregnancy and postpartum corrective exercise specialist, registered expert yoga teacher with thousands of hours of teaching experience, as well as a prenatal and postpartum yoga specialist. She works with women privately and in classes, many returning after their second and third pregnancies. Bonnie holds a master's degree in counseling with specialization working with women in transition. Bonnie is a well-published author, and her most recent book release, Yoga for Holistic Healing, Practices for Pain and Stress Relief, has received many 5-star reviews on Amazon. Let us now dive into this great session on movement. Take it away, Bonnie.
Thank you. Thank you, Kendra. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight myself. I am so appreciative of everyone being here today, and I'm hoping to do a lot of things within 35 minutes, and I'm just thrilled to be presenting at this conference. I'm going to share my screen now. So let's see, go away. There we go. Whoops. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. Technology. So again, welcome. I'm really glad you're taking the time out of your day to come do some practicing. And I don't know where you are in your whole yoga journey. You might be a person who loves yoga. You might be a person who hates yoga. You might be a person who has a love-hate relationship to yoga. Or maybe you haven't done yoga in a while, but have a fond memory of it. Or you have absolutely no opinion on yoga. You see commercials and pretzel poses on covers of magazines where you think, I have nothing to do with yoga. Perhaps you don't have any opinion about yoga, and maybe you did take a class and have a love-hate relationship with yoga. So wherever you are, I'm hoping you're going to be taking away some things from this presentation and practice. So the question is, what's in it for me? And what I'm hoping to offer you today is a buffet of benefits. We're actually going to practice. I want to start with the definition of yoga, the simplest definition you can think of. Yoga equals awareness. That's all. The Sanskrit of yoga, which is the origin of what the practices of yoga was written in, means yoke. And it's a holistic practice, body, mind, and breath. So we're trying to yoke all three of those. And for prenatal and postpartum, I want to, again, disabuse everyone of this idea that you have to be doing poses that you used to do. They're going to be there afterward. If you can re-look at yoga as awareness, this is what you're going to get. One of the things I hope you come out of this session. So we're going to use a model called the Kosher Model, which is the holistic model of yoga. I'm going to offer you ways to, I call it sprinkle yoga through your day in short increments. So we were talking about you don't need a mat, you don't need an hour. You can accrue the benefits of yoga through your day, and again, re-looking at it as awareness. And I'm hoping also today for you all to leave with some immediately applicable holistic practice to support you now, right now, whether you're immediately postpartum, you've hit 6 months since you've had a baby, or you're pregnant, or you're way past childbearing. You're going to walk away, I hope, with some applicable practices that we're going to go through today, and you'll use them the rest of your life. So, context. This is what's called the Kosher Model that was referred to in the description of my session. And we're looking at a whole person here. and who has many parts. Now the thing with these circles is that they're permeable. It looks like they're solid circles, but each of these circles intertwines, affects the other circle. We're going to do hopefully a practice or part of a practice for each of these circles today. So the first layer, kosha means sheath, is our physical body. The second layer is our breath, our energetic body. The third layer is what our thoughts, our mind, meditation. The fourth layer is called Pranamaya Kosha. It roughly translates as discernment. And Maya Kosha, Ananda means bliss. So we're going to work with peeling away and integrating these layers as we go through this practice for postpartum yoga for holistic healing and joy. So the first layer is that physical body. And this is what you can touch. It's most visible to the world. And it's typically what everyone thinks of as yoga, as poses. It is part of yoga. So we are going to do some practices, but it's not the only piece. And the key word here is what's appropriate for you. I have a motto in my offerings I've had for many years as I've been teaching yoga, practicing yoga. My motto is it's your yoga. It's not the yoga of the person next to you, and it's your yoga for you right now, what your body and mind are, where you're at in the present day. So remember that motto as we go through this. And also the physical body, of course, needs nutrition and hydration. So it is not in the intent of this presentation to go to any of those. What I'd like to do is do a practice right now with you for the first kosha, the first layer, the physical practices of yoga. So I'm going to stop the screen share and invite you. I'm going to move my microphone. Now, some of you may want to be seated. Some of you might want to stand up. So wherever you are in your journey, I'm going to show variations for all of these options. So if you're seated and maybe you're holding your baby, what I suggest you do is to come toward the edge of your chair and not sit on your tailbone. Try to sit so that your brain is over your heart, is over your pelvis, and your feet are flat on the floor. So right away, we become aware. Remember, yoga is awareness, aware of how we're sitting. I'll put this baby down. Those of you standing, I'd like you to stand with your feet about hip joint distance apart, okay? And sway forward and sway back and sway left and sway right. And I'd like you to feel the Mother Earth, connect with Mother Earth beneath your feet so that you have a plumb line of being that same brain over heart over pelvis. And bring a little more weight into your heels so that if you bring more weight into your toes, do you see this hip thrusting? So there's pictures of me with my baby, holding baby like that, which is the source of low back pain, might slow down healing of the diastasis. So we don't want a hip thrust. So mountain pose. Anyone can do this, whether you've had a belly birth, which I've had, commonly called a cesarean birth, or a vaginal birth. Mountain pose. Bring your palms forward. Everyone's breathing, so inhale, whether you're seated or standing, inhale your arms up. And again, try not to thrust your hips. Stay focused on your heels. Exhale, arms down. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. exhale. After a long nursing session, after you've been feeding baby for a while, you can get up and move your arms, move your shoulders, simple arm waves. Again, this can be done seated. Open up your chest. Make, I call these hitchhiker thumbs. Make hitchhiker thumbs. Drop your shoulders away from your ears and feel your chest open. Whether you've had any kind of birth, there's tightness in the chest. So let ourselves breathe while bringing a little more weight onto your heels. Hitchhiker thumbs, opening the chest. Again, seated or standing, can you be aware where you might have tightness? And then inhale, exhale, bring your arms down. Roll one shoulder, then the other behind you like you're swimming. Again, if you're seated, if you're just newly had your precious baby, can you move your shoulders? Yeah, you can move your shoulders. And then swimming forward. So just getting some shoulder mobility, opening up your arms, seated or standing, opening up your chest, giving yourself a hug, and patting yourself on the back. This is yoga. We're doing movement for the physical body, the Pranamaya Kosha. Memorize what arm was on top. Inhale and release tightness in your shoulders. Put the other arm on top. Pat yourself on the back. Am I thrusting my hips? No, I'm still in mountain pose. Am I kind of twerking back? No, still feeling that optimal alignment that helps pressure in the body. Go ahead and inhale, exhale, release. Whether you're seated or standing, so seated, you can come to the edge of your chair and inhale, move forward, and then exhale. If you're standing, you're in mountain pose, we're going to bring our hands in front of our heart. And then start to bring your hips back. Bend your hips first, bring your hips back behind you, and feel length in your glutes. Feel length in your lower back. Feel the quads. So we're trying to engage strength around the pelvis, the quads. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, bring your hands in front of your heart. If you're seated still, you're sitting at the edge of the chair, leaning forward. Those of you standing, lean back. Pretend there's a little preschool chair behind you and come to chair pose. You don't have to go low. Now, are you breathing? So building strength. Inhale, exhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale down. Now, seated or standing, I'll keep repeating that. You don't have to stand for all of this. Bring your left hand to your left waist. Raise your right arm up. And then gently over. Opening the side tissues of the body for a nice breath. Now, can you look underneath your armpit? So yoga is, again, can we be aware of how our body is moving? Can we bring motion? I always say motion is your lotion. Other side, left arm up. Root into those feet. I'm still in mountain pose. And come up and over. Ooh, feels so good, huh? We're reaching for things all day, or maybe we never bring our arms above our head, just being able to do that. So go ahead and shake your arms out. Those of you seated, or whenever you're seated, bring one foot out and do some ankle circles. Now, so if you're feeding your baby, you want to get circulation, maybe you have swelling still, edema, can you do some ankle circles? Those of you standing, bring the foot to the ground and just release. everything is connected, right? So any movement we do is going to benefit the whole body. Although we're doing ankle circles, the whole Pranamaya Kosha, we can feel it in our hip, we can feel it in our knee. Other side, if you're seated, you'll be doing circles like that. If you're standing. So I'm giving you a practice to kind of open up your thinking about the physical practices of yoga. Go the other side. That you can start gentle movements to, as they say, put the oxygen mask on first. In other words, do some physical self-care, even if you're still recovering. And I know what that's like because I've been there. Okay, last one, I'm going to come seated. You could still stand. Not actually the last one, second from the last one. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Inhale. Let go of that inner backpack. 2 more times. Inhale. So you may find yourself with baby kind of tense. Maybe not. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. One of the best things you can do with your Pranamaya Kosha, with the physical body, is relax, shoulders away from ears. Tilt the left ear toward the left shoulder. Feel a lengthening on the side of the neck. Take your left arm up and around and gently, gently feel length here. So when we're under stress, sometimes these muscles up here get pretty tense. Breathing, breathing. Tilt your chin toward your armpit. And as we do these gentle stretches, which again can be done pretty soon after you've had baby, neck stretches, face forward. Bring your fingertips to your temple, help your head up. Notice the difference between the sides. We're going to the second side. Now I'm right-handed. This is my right side. And usually your dominant hand side is a lot stiffer. So optional is to take your right arm up. You can even let this opposite arm kind of hang. Breathing in, breathing out. Is your jaw relaxed? Are your eyelids relaxed? Can you relax your tongue? Turn your chin toward the armpit for a moment. Breathe. Turn face forward. Bring your fingertips to the outer temple. Interlace your fingers. Stretch your knuckles and palms forward. Now on purpose, drop your shoulders away from your ears. All of these little cues are not to be fussy, just being aware. Hinge your chin toward your chest. Feel a nice lengthening in the back of the neck. Still seated or standing, let your arms come up over your head, but feel connected to your chair. Breathing in, breathing out, and bring the arms down. Excellent. So I want to give you one more little tip with sometimes I call this baby Samantha, sometimes Jessica. Movements. Remember the chair movement where we had our hips go back. So I want to really invite you to think about whether you're carrying baby, doing chair pose, putting baby down, that you're not schlumping. So this is schlumping, and this is chair pose, just putting baby down. Think about other things you do in your life, whether you're reaching down to put dishes away. Can you avoid this stressful kind of rounding of the back? Bring your hips down, put the dishes in the dishwasher or in the cabinet, and just really be aware of your everyday movements. This is what yoga can be, simple awareness. So that is just some things you can bring into your day. I want to go to the next piece of this practice, which is the next kosha. And that was the Pranamaya Kosha, the next layer. This one is called the Pranamaya Kosha. So every layer builds on the next. Your breath is like a barometer for your stress levels. Your breath is a barometer for mental states, for physical states. So we're breathing all the time, but once we pay attention to it, we get a lot of information, okay? Prana is the universal life force. In Chinese medicine, it's called Qi. The state of your nervous system is expressed by your breath. And for years, yogis have studied this and know that. And now, of course, tons of official scientific studies are showing us all the ways the breath can support us and give us messages. So what I'd like to do is offer you a breath and movement practice. So we're connecting both of the koshas. So you can do this seated, you can do this standing. I'd like you to drop your shoulders away from your ears, carrying a lot. Let go again of that inner backpack. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Again, shoulders relaxed. Inhale, open. Fill the lungs. Exhale, bring hands in front of the heart. Now inhale, bring arms up. Exhale, bring hands in front of the heart. Anybody can do this movement. Unless maybe you have a shoulder injury, you might have to modify. Open your lungs, open your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So what we've done is joined the breath and movement. Now, I'd like you to bring your hands down here around where you're either carrying baby or have carried baby. Soften your shoulders and bring the breath down. So inhale, exhale. So that's the one of the best messages you can give yourself. Another takeaway, bring the breath down. Inhale, long, slow, and deep. Fill, exhale, empty. And your hands are touching the physical kosha, the physical body, to feel the prana, the breath body. Let's do two more. Bring the breath down. Inhale. Relax your jaw, relax your face, don't grit your teeth, and exhale, long, slow, deep. Notice, even after a few breaths, and it might take 5 or 6, that your nervous system is starting to down-regulate. Bring the breath down up from here and in here. Now, you may not have heard of this one, but I teach this a lot. I'd like you to find your ribs, so kind of your lower ribs. Take your shoulders up to your ears on purpose, and then let them just gently come down. So we don't want the shoulders, we're not inviting the shoulders. The action is to inhale and see if you can feel the ribs expand sideways. Exhale. Feel a contraction, a little hugging. So if you still are pregnant, you'd be hugging your baby from within. Keep going. This is called 360 breath. Inhale. Jaw relaxed. Exhale. So we're really employing and inviting all the muscles of breathing for a deeper breath and for calm. Let's do one more. Beautiful. Now, what I want to say is that when we're recovering after having baby, when it's 20 years into your life, bringing the breath down is step one. Whenever you can remember to not bring pressure forward and distribute your breath in a circle in that 360 way, it can help healing. Not only maybe if you had a belly birth, but also some ideas of pressure down from sneeze peas and things like that. So I'm not going to go into all the pelvic floor connections on this session, but I just want to remind you that employing the breath has multiple benefits. If you have another takeaway today, bring the breath down. That's step one. Maybe move with the breath and 360 breath. So that was breath and movement, the first two koshas. The next one we're going to look at is the mind. That's called the Pranamaya Kosha. That consists of our thoughts, our beliefs, our opinions, that inner conversation in our head, what's often called self-talk. You've heard of mantras, you've heard of affirmations, you've heard of visualizations. What happens in the mind is often logical or illogical. It could be stress producing or calming, right? And so yoga, if you buy in, and I hope you do, into the definition of yoga that it equals awareness, can we be a little more aware of our thinking? This is the first time I'm saying this. The mind and the breath are friends. So they go together. If your mind is anxiety, etc., usually we're breathing not down. Usually we are breathing kind of shallowly. When we start to bring the breath down, you can almost feel the thoughts that might be causing stress dissipate, because our mind doesn't know the difference between what we're imagining and what's really happening. So the mind and the body will then react as if a stressful event is happening, whether it's happening or not. So the next practice is going to be working with this kosha, the Pranamaya Kosha, the Pranamaya Kosha. And it's going to be an affirmation. I'd like to just have you put your hand to your heart, and I'll just tilt my screen. And the other one to the belly. Once again, always check in if you can soften your shoulders away from your ears. Think about gently that brain over heart over the pelvis. And here's the thought I want to plant, the seed I want to plant with all of you, wherever you are in your journey. I give myself compassion. I give myself grace. So it could be like this. Inhale, I give myself compassion. Long, slow, deep. Exhale, I give myself grace. This is a mini self-compassion practice. You're talking to yourself as you would talk to one of your good friends. Inhale, I give myself compassion. Exhale, I give myself grace. And you might even add a vision, yourself in your mind, a picture of yourself, and give an inner smile to yourself. I give myself compassion. the breath, with touch. Exhale, I give myself grace. Yoga equals awareness, the mind, the body, the breath. There's many more practices, there's many more ways to notice what we're thinking, but I think just if we can be aware of the fast train that our thoughts can get on, I call them the what ifs, and the moans are must, ought, always, never, and should. And you might have heard that thing, don't should on yourself. So instead of shoulding on yourself, S-H-O-U-L-D, give yourself compassion, give yourself grace. So that's the next, that was the Kosha of the mind, the Pranamaya Kosha. Getting to the next one, and there I give myself love. So I did compassion. Okay. Make it work for you. So this, I love this one. There's a picture here of above the clouds, right? If you've been on a plane, a helicopter, in a high building, sometimes you can feel like you're above the clouds. You are above the clouds. This is the part of you, and I'm going to call it, for if there's men here, we could say wise man within. For all women, think of it as the wise woman within, your inner compassionate teacher. That's the part of you that objectively can see what you're thinking, can see that you're negative, like shoulding, as I say, on yourself, or saying a lot of what ifs. There's that part of us that sees what we're doing, right? So that's the wisdom woman within. I call it the WWW, wisdom woman within. Can you connect to her or him to cultivate more self-awareness? And coming back to our definition of yoga as awareness, this is another piece of the puzzle. Also, I think of this Kosha, this Pranamaya Kosha, as an inner compassionate teacher, okay? Always teaching us. So how do we cultivate this wisdom part of ourselves? How do we create objectivity? Well, I'm going to guide you in the next about 5 minutes in a practice. It's kind of a meditation practice, guided, more of a visualization practice to help you cultivate your inner wisdom, your inner teacher. So I'd like to invite you to get into any comfortable position that works for you. Maybe you want to lie down. You're probably all in your own homes. Wherever you are, make yourself comfortable. And whether you're seated or lying down, connect to your breath. So perhaps you could bring your hands to your belly where we felt our belly before, and bring the breath down. Good, long, slow, and deep. And then on the exhale, make it longer than the inhale, kind of let everything go. So inhale, and then you can just sigh it out. So looking at the physical body, feeling your physical body in contact with the space you're sitting or lying down. Does your body feel smooth? Does it feel tight? Does it feel relaxed? Is there any particular place where you might feel a little bit of pain or tightness? So kind of looking from that bird's eye view, that helicopter view, What is going on with your body? And one of the cues I want to invite you to think about is not judging. So simply going, oh, interesting. My left shoulder is tight. Or, oh, interesting, I'm clenching my jaw. So just notice the physical body, be aware of it. And often, not all the time, when the physical body is actually paid attention to, it tends to respond in a more joyful way, in a way that's more relaxing. Now notice your breath. We're in the pranamaya, the breath body, where you feel your breath in your chest or in your belly. Is it challenging to breathe deeper because maybe you have been breathing shallowly in your life? Again, no judgment, simply observing. By observing the breath, do you sense a change in your nervous system? By observing the breath, does your body, your physical body, relax a little bit more? Beautiful, everyone. Now let's think about our Pranamaya Kosha, the mind. From that bird's eye view, can you watch your thoughts and just see, are you planning? Are you sleepy? Are you thinking I'm sleepy? Are you remembering something? Are you judging? Are you analyzing? Maybe none of the above. Just notice, what are your thoughts? What is the thinking mind doing from that helicopter view? Perhaps even notice emotions. Are you feeling excited, enlightened, content? Is there a name, a label you can put on your emotion? This is part of yoga, just again, awareness. And notice how the emotions might be indicated again in your breath and in your body. So meditation, and this was a guided meditation, does not have to be that we are clearing the mind. The meditation can be a simple journey through these layers of being. So you can remain with your eyes closed, or you can open them up if you're feeling pretty chill. Feel free to keep the eyes closed as we go into the last kosha, the last layer. Remember, and I think you all get this, the koshas are interconnected. So think of a light within, and I like to do, we're not going to do it today, but a candle meditation with this kosha. Think of deep, when we peel away the layers of, adjusting to having someone new in your family, adjusting to first, second, third, fourth baby, adjusting to changed relationships, that within us there is an unchanging you, your true essence, a light within you that if we peel away all those layers, that's steady. It's our inner light of love and happiness. And if you're a parent, you probably connect to that when you're looking in your baby's eyes. There is a really a sense of bliss and a sense of oneness. And one of the ways that can be obstructed is if we let some of the habits of the other koshas of our body, of our breath, of our mind obstruct our connection to our own bliss. So one of the questions I want you to ask yourself, just as we wrap up this journey through the koshas, is what gives you joy and what gives you bliss? You are the same person, whether you've been a mom or dad or whatever you've done in your life. There's a part of us that's unchanging and the same. And we can work to kind of peel away some of what covers that sense of self. So I want to stop my formal presentation here. And I think we're going to have time for questions. Moderator, help me here.
Yes, please, we do. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, my speaker's been a little funky.
So
But yes, we have time. We have time for questions. People can raise their hands if they want and unmute themselves, or type your question or in the chat or comments. We've had a chat.
If you want to read me any questions from the chat as well, if people are feeling like they don't want to talk on Zoom or, show themselves, I'm really open to these last 5 minutes or so. So if you could read those to me, that would be great.
Yeah, we just had a lot of comments and discussion about the, how we're feeling bliss and
cool.
Let me see. I'll have to have somebody step into Huva.
I can see, so I'm going to read some out loud and tell me one time I was able to put the chat on. So thank you for all these comments. I love this. So someone asked, I have some chronic injuries that pose challenges. What about everyone else? So I do, like I say, know and feel strongly that there's a yoga for everybody. So remember that it's not only the physical, but in terms of the physical, we can give what I call variations on every physical shape you can think of. So it's important to work with a teacher who knows the body and knows how to give you variations. And I'm not going to say modifications, because modification sounds like less than. A teacher who can give you variations to work with your physical body and the injuries you might be bringing forward. That's a great question. Love, love, love yoga. It's amazing how a few minutes of this relaxes me. Yeah, so I do want to say I have a motto: accumulate calm. I think I'm going to copyright that. So every hour of your day, can you accumulate a little calm by doing some of this breathing, by doing some of those motions? Tension in my neck and shoulders. You don't have to roll out a mat, right? Let's see. Can everyone relate? The mind is the hardest part of yoga. Yeah, the mind has its habits, but we can change the direction things go. Go out into nature. Okay. Any other questions? Thank you for all of those observations, comments. Anyone else have anything they would like to say or bring in?
I'd like to say thank you. This was so awesome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Let me go to view gallery.
It was so tangible. I really enjoyed even just the meditation there at the end. I got a little sleepy, a little like relaxed,
I
was
do.
really very good. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, it doesn't have to, so again, the takeaway is you don't need, yes, go roll out a mat for a half hour, an hour if you can in your life, but it's not necessary. You can sit in a chair and do yoga breathing and yoga movements and start to build strength back and that kind of thing. So I really feel strongly when someone says to me, I can't do yoga, I'll ask them, how do you define yoga? Because if it's only down dog is great, but there's a lot more to it than that. Hi, Ashley.
Yeah, I agree.
Hi, Bonnie. Just want to say hi and thank you. And there is, Bonnie has a course that I purchased a few weeks ago, and I'm a first-time mom, and I just want to say that it was really life-changing for me during this time. So like, if you all feel this way, maybe Bonnie could share that resource, because I'm not good at taking care of myself unless I've like committed or I have something holding me accountable to that. So investing in this course and doing it on my own time and having snippets of educational and physical and mental pieces have been really helpful for me to incorporate those little gifts and the additives that she was just saying throughout the day. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and I just wanted to share that personal experience with you all in case it's helpful.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Yeah, people can reach out to me. I think there's ways to contact me within this. Kendra, I don't know what to say here. I'll let you jump in.
Yes. So in the Whova app and or the website, people can continue this conversation and ask more questions and find Bonnie there in our app. Okay.
Yes.
In Whova. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other observations?
And just want to thank you, Bonnie, for that session. That was so needed, especially right after lunch. It was kind of nice to center ourselves, and it was really lovely. And nice to see some poses we could do in the chair, even while you're holding your baby. So,
yeah.
And thank you all for asking questions in Whova. We have at 1:55 right here in this room 1. Thank you so much, Bonnie. We have Dr. Lee Lewis coming to discuss important labs during the postpartum period. And if you're wanting something kind of creative, you can join Rochelle in room 2. She's going to guide you through art for relaxation. And in room 3, Clark Bear is going to review the statistics on maternal mortality right here in Arizona. Her work fuels our organization, 4th trimester, to take better care of moms during the postpartum period and support thriving families. So thank you all for joining us here in for yoga with Bonnie Golden. And enjoy your next sessions.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kendra and Megan.
Thank you.